Hello and welcome to Real Actors, Real Answers, the video podcast where you are the star. Today, I want to interview one of my best friends, and she is multi-talented. She does so much. She is an actress. She is a speaker. She is an author, an amazing woman. Her name is Michele D. Clark. How are you doing, Michele?
I am doing magnificent. As a matter of fact, if I did any better, it would probably be illegal in 3 states.
No, magnificent is better than fine. I'm fine. So tell our audience, I introduced you. There's so much to tell about you, but you're the best author of your own life. So you're an actress. You just did something quite spectacular. Was it a speaking engagement? You talk, I'll listen. We'll listen.
Yeah, no worries. Well, let's just start all the way back and just let the people know who I am. Because I mean, yes, I'm Michele D. Clark, but I'm just a small town girl, big time dreams, who God has shown his grace and his mercy. And he's definitely saved me from some life-threatening things. And so when I talk about small town, I'm talking about Harvey, Illinois, where I'm originally from. Nobody knows where that is, David, unless you're from like that area, right? It's like Harvey who? But most people know what Chicago is. So it's like the south side suburb of Chicago. And a lot of stuff was going on back then. Instead of being a dope dealer, like a lot of stuff that was going on out in Chicago at that time, I became a hope dealer with my company, Lift Nation, where I empower women to live inspire, free, and transform. And so, yes, this weekend I had a phenomenal time where I was a interviewer for the speakers on the Leadership Experience Tour with Mr. Sean Fair. So I spoke on the circuit back in April of last year. So that was one of the speaking engagements where I told my story, more of my background, some of the trials and tribulations that I've been through in order to help me to live more triumphantly where I am now. And so this time around, and several of the tours since then, I was invited to be an interviewer of the speakers who will be gracing the stage as I did this weekend. So it was absolutely fabulous. I get to meet some wonderful, phenomenal people, get to pull some of their stories, find out why they decided to grace the stage, and then, of course, network, because my main thing is you're either networking or not working. so yeah, that's the most recent.
Okay. Now tell us a little bit about your company.
So there's a birth of 2 babies. So the birth of my first baby was Lift Life Coaching Solutions, and then there's Lift Nation. So Lift Life Coaching Solutions is just what it is. I am a life coach. Matter of fact, I am the mindset management coach for professional women. And so I help professional women to, I like to call it change their stinking thinking. So a lot of the times we can do a lot of things that we don't believe that we can do. And it is that BS that we have in our minds. I call it belief system. So it's that BS that we have in our minds that holds us back from our greatness. So that's what I do. Maybe I should change my title to The Greatness Unleasher. I don't know. But that's what I do with Lift Life Coaching Solutions. And with Lift Nation, that's like a collaborative effort. That was a global initiative where we're providing a space for sisterhoods to just grow and foster, where we can change and exchange resources. Because again, you're either networking or not working. So those are and with Lift Nation, I started on Facebook. So as a private group, and within about 3.5 months, we are already in 4 different time zones and 4 different continents. And we have almost 300 people in Lift Nation. So super excited about that. And of course, we are welcoming more women. So if you're watching this and you're a woman, yes, this is my selfish plug, then go ahead and come on and join us. And if you don't have Facebook, I don't have Facebook. That's cool. No worries. All you have to do is just hit me up and I'll give you all the contact information when David gives me the chance to do that later on.
I love what you said, so many things, but one thing that really stood out was if you're not networking, you're not working. And you have 300 people from 4 continents coming to your private group on your Facebook page?
That is correct.
How long did that take?
It was about 3.5 months.
Oh, okay. So you didn't do willy-nilly.
No, not at all. I don't do willy or nilly. So
now some people, if they dabble, and I can't stand dabble, I just have a thing with it. Don't dabble, because you'll get the results. You'll get results, but it'll probably be very discouraging. So you had a plan.
Yes, 100%. 100% plan. And it really is just getting the word out there, making sure that when you're on, I can say you're on Lift Nation, but when you're, of course, Lift Nation, the group, but when you're on Facebook or any kind of social media platform, that you really take advantage of it. And I don't even really call it like social media, I call it business media. Because yes, I can be, when I interact with people, it seems socially, but there is a business premise behind it. So when we make our intentions intentional, then you'll get the results that are not conventional.
And as I mentioned earlier, you're an actress too.
Yes. So super excited about that. As a matter of fact, I had like one of the most phenomenal coaches. You guys may know him. His name is David Thompson. And so
okay, thank you very much.
100%. You know, I got to put that out there because let me tell you guys something. So I know I'm totally talking about me, but what David has been able to do for me, you guys. If you are an actor or an actress and you are saying to yourself, you know what, I want to take my career to the next level. I really want to be able to communicate and emote the emotions, not just within myself, but radiate that energy outward and have it catch on film. Because it's one thing in order for other people to feel you in the room, but then when it transcends past and onto either print or film or whatever it is you're doing, that's when you have the magic. And that's what David is able to do to help you to do. So yes, with that, I've had some experience with doing a lot of background work. So I did some background work for student films, colleges. I've done some background work. I have some films on Tubi. Yay! So I don't know if I'm able to say the names of those or not, but yeah. Is that a yes or no? I can't.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, yep. So Asbury Park, that's one of the movies, and also He Said, She Said. So I did some background work there. And I also, the new season that is, I believe this came out yesterday, of Black Mafia Family, I also did some background work and some photo double work on that as well. So it was absolutely fabulous, you know, seeing 50 Cent and seeing some of the other cast members and just being able to interact and network with them. It was, everybody was absolutely amazing and so cool. So, and they fed us well. So yeah, so those types of things, as well as some background work. There are some motivational, inspirational speakers, and of course they do a wonderful job of packing the house. But when they want certain looks and angles and things like that, they actually do hire an audience. I know some of you may not know that, but they may actually hire an audience so that way they can get the diversity in the crowd that they're looking for, as well as some of the responses. But to be honest with you, when I did that work, it didn't even seem like acting because I just allowed myself to be. And I think that's the main thing, is allowing ourselves to be. I didn't have to play a character, so to speak, in those. In other settings where I'm playing a specific character, then I allow myself to become. And that's the main thing. So whatever it is, whoever the character is, when you read the synopsis and things like that, the sides, and you just really integrate yourself with that character and you just become that. So it's no longer acting, you are him or her. And I think that's like one of the biggest takeaways, if you wanted one. So if you want to take away, that's what a takeaway I would say in acting.
That's very well said. I like how you said that. How has it influenced or helped you in your speaking career?
I mean, like leaps and bounds. Because I don't know if y'all have ever been to a presentation and the person sounds like that guy on Dry Eyes, you know, the professor, that guy, right? And you're just like, oh man, I really want to take copious notes. I'm trying to stay awake, and yet I find myself like, right? So you don't want that. And even in corporate settings, they still don't want boring. They don't want dull. They want to be entertained. So it's education and entertainment, edutainment. So being able to marry those two and be able to emote and being able to bring the audience with you on your journey. So whatever it is, the topic is, you want to bring the audience. Let me just make this personal. I want to bring the audience in my journey and see it through my eyes, see it through my lens. And in order to do that, I have to paint the picture to a point where they feel it. If they can't feel it and they don't feel like they're with me, then they're not going to be with me. You know, they say in leadership, if you don't have anybody following you, you're just taking a walk. Same thing. If you are on the stage and you're doing a presentation and nobody's following with you, I mean, you're basically just having a monologue by yourself. Nobody watching.
And doesn't that affect your own energy as well?
Oh, heck yes. Absolutely, David, it does. Just imagine yourself. I think the best way to say that is just imagine if you were a comedian and you're on the stage and nobody's laughing. That's hard. It hurts. So the same thing when we are presenting whatever the materials are, and it should have a little bit of comedy in there, FYI. No matter how serious the speech is, it should have somewhere in there we have comic relief to help the audience to still stay with you. Um, Being a licensed therapist and a life coach, there are some serious topics that we venture, including traumas and tragedies. Well, listen, if the only thing we're talking about is trauma, 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 trauma throughout the whole speech, you may find that glossy look in your audience face, not because you're boring, but because they may be reliving some of their own traumas.
Wow.
We may be triggering them unknowingly and inadvertently. So then we have to do something to help shift them, to bring them back to the now, and they're back with us again. And the best way to do that I found is comic relief.
I mean, even now, and I give you credibility for what you just said. That's amazing. It's very true. Even now, in the little box that we're in right now, talking, your face is engaged, and your hands, and you're fully expressing, but it's coming from your heart through your emotions and out into your body. But if you were just sitting there talking, I must say, you're one of my good friends, but I would be like, okay, where's the animation? That's very important. People can relate to movement.
Yes.
And integrity.
Motion creates emotion.
What was that?
Motion creates emotion.
That's where you all said again. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Because if I just did like this, and this is the only thing that you guys heard, and matter of fact, let me just even remove the hands, and we just talk like this, you would think that I was Small Wonder or Will Robinson's best friend.
Yeah, exactly. I remember. That's very funny. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm going to go out in left field here when I say this, but I suspect many people, and I've heard this from my students, I've heard this from people, I'll just wing it. I have it up here. Okay, I know what I want to say, so they don't bother to write it down. They don't bother to prepare before they actually go to the audition, go to the speaking event, whatever it is. What is your take on that?
It's kind of twofold, but the first thing that came to my mind was proper preparation prevents poor performance. That was the first thing that popped into my mind. Don't say that with peanut butter in your mouth. Then the second look of that, because then people say, okay, then what is proper preparation? Well, learning your craft, getting a coach, whatever it is, if it's acting or if it's, basketball, whatever it is, you need to have a coach. You need to have someone who has a global view, who has more experience than you, who can guide you. And so when I talk about the second part of that, like what is preparation, I also thought about it in a kind of, are you a philosopher kind of way? Meaning life is a stage, and life prepares us for things that we don't know is to come. So when we are going about our day, every single day, we should be wondering, what is the lesson that I've learned today? What is my lesson that I'm going to take away from, whether it's the good, the bad, or the ugly, whether it's adversity or whether it is an anniversary, whatever it is that we're experiencing, there's a lesson to be learned in that. And then you take those lessons and you cultivate them and you store them, almost like a little, I see a little squirrel in a tree, like storing the nuts, and we store those. Now, as far as not writing it down, for me, myself, I trust a short pen over a long-term memory any day. So I would say write it down, because the thought be something so purposeful, so meaningful, so powerful that could be life-changing, life-shifting, and not just for you, but for those around you. And then the next thing you know, you're like, man, what the heck is that? Oh man, like, have y'all ever had that where, okay, I even had it where I walk into a room to go get something, and by the time I get to that room, it's like, I don't even know what I'm in here for.
Right.
We have so many thoughts that run through our mind. We have so many thoughts that run through our mind that don't even register consciously, that interfere with whatever it is that you were trying to remember at that one potential time. So please Write it down, put it into your phone, text somebody and be like, hey, I just needed to remember that, whatever. But try to capture that moment. No, not try. Do your best to capture that moment. What is try? Do your best to capture that moment. So that way, it's almost like frozen in time. And then when you're ready for it, you can thaw it out. I don't even know if that answered your question, David.
No, it does. You're on fire. There's a lot of good things in what you said, and they're all true. And even though we're on screen and not in person, there's an energy coming from you. Okay, and it makes a lot of sense in acting and in life, because life is acting, acting is life. You can't separate the two, otherwise you're just faking it. Have you ever had the jitters or stage fright, traditionally speaking, when you went in front of an audience?
Absolutely.
How did you handle it?
So, FYI, so you guys, quiet as it's kept. Even if it's not acting, or even if it's doing a presentation in front of a crowd, or even a presentation in front of 10 people. Let me tell you something. I get the BGs like nobody's business. If y'all don't know what the BGs is, that's the bubble guts. I get the bubble guts, you all. I mean, it's like I don't want anybody to talk to me. And I used to, okay, so I don't know if you guys have ever gone to those MLM, multi-level marketing meetings. I used to be the person on the stage. So I used to do that too, right? And so prior to, they used to be like, oh, you need to mix and mingle with the crowd so that way they can feel like they know you. I'm thinking to myself, like, that's the last thing I want to do. I'm trying to keep my food in me, and and not even the polite way. So you guys let your imagination run that way. So I really needed this moment to kind of meditate, to quiet my mind, to settle myself, to give myself, you see, I'm even doing it right now, closing my eyes. So I'm shutting out the whole world around me. I'm just, I'm in myself and giving myself positive self-talk. You got this. You know this. You're going to have fun. Why are you getting so upset? It's no purpose. Once you get on that stage, you're about to rock this. You're about to blow this. Everybody's going to be at their seats and not actually see the crowd. So I actually use visualization as well. I'm visualizing the crowd engaging with me. If I'm, on a set or something like that, I'm visualizing me just destroying in a good way, destroying my lines, allowing myself to be in the moment with that person. So if I'm acting opposite someone or in a scene with other people, see, with myself is one thing, but when I'm with someone else, it's like you've already done the preparation. You already know your lines. If you don't know your lines, you know the essence of the scene. You know your character. You know the energy that your character brings with, or him, if I'm playing a guy. So don't be so, unless of course you have a director. Sometimes they're really hell bent on every word being precise. You have to go straight by the book on the text, but really just allow yourself to flow. I just really allow myself to flow, and that saying those types of things to myself is what helps me to calm and quiet my nerves, knowing that I've done the work beforehand, knowing that I know what I know, that I know that I know, and what I don't know, still know.
You sound like Les Brown.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, you have the same, in a different way, of course. You're unique from him, but he has that energy. He has that smile. He has that laugh that makes you laugh, because he pokes fun at himself many times. But I feel that positivity, that energy. Do you have to work at this positivity, this energy? Because some people might say, oh, that and that Real Actors, Real Answers, I saw her. She's got it made. It's effortless for her. Some people think this.
Yeah, they think I woke up like this. No, I did not wake up like this. I have to work at it. It is a journey, not a destination. Period. It is a flat out, for show, for real, whatever you want to call it, straight up journey. Every single day, every moment of the day, I actively engage in self-talk, positive self-talk, corrective self-talk. Because yes, we all have self-talk. Positive, negative, the pendulum swings both ways, y'all. I'm not immune to it. They don't say, oh, because she's Michele D. Clark, the mindset management coach for women, we're not going to touch her. And no, I get touched too with negativity. It hits me. Listen, Jim Rohn says the same wind blows on us all. Period. The same wind blows. I know somebody was trying to run and grab their pen and paper. Jim Rohn says the same wind blows on us all, meaning no matter who you are, you're gonna go through something. Period.
I like that.
But the glory is trouble don't last always. So just as the wind blows, it also can be still. So no, I do work at it. It doesn't come naturally. Right, back to the question, right? So no, it doesn't. Now I will say this: I do tend to have a sunny disposition, but it is a choice. It's not chance. It is an active choice. I was just meeting with a friend of mine at the library, and I was saying that, you know, I carry happiness with me. So that way, whenever something comes across, that I'll have it. Matter of fact, and I also said, you know, I can find a silver lining in any situation. I can find a silver lining in any situation. And it's not a gift, it's not a talent, it is just work. It's just putting in the work, the mental work of making sure that if you guys have ever caught any of my lives, whether it be my Tuesday Talks with Ms. Clark at 8 p.m., shameless plug, right? On either YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn, or if you catch any of my lives on Facebook, I do daily. I'll usually say something like, you know, if it's a Monday, it's a magnificent Monday. Why? Because I said so, and you can too. It's because I said so. It's because I casted that spell over my circumstance. They call them spelling words for a reason.
Wow.
Spelling words. We
I
can
like
speak,
that.
thank you. We can speak life or death over a situation. Wouldn't you much rather like speak life over your situation and over others? Because you may say to yourself, well, okay, I got a slick tongue and I'm going to speak death over this person because I can't stand them. Please understand that whatever you put out there will not come back to you void. So whatever you put out there is going to come back to you. It's a boomerang effect that people call karma.
That's the Bible, though.
100%. You know, everybody doesn't know that book. Everybody don't know that
It's
book.
like whatever you put out, it'll come back to you. So say a person has been putting out bad vibes, negativity, this and that and the other thing, I'll just say, they'll get that back. However, if you choose to plant good seed and you do start to do that, then you get the opposite effect, correct?
100%. At any given point in time and moment that we make the decision that we want to make the change, and change is an acronym: choose happiness and never give excuses. When we want to make that change, we can make that change. So that's why I say live an inspired, free, and transform. That snap, it can happen just like that.
I thought I was good at acronyms. Change. I got to remember that. That's excellent. Wow.
Thank you. Yeah. Choose
That's
happiness.
beautiful. If someone wanted to find you, how would they find you?
I usually hang out with Waldo. No, just kidding.
Then we can't find you.
You won't find me. Well, people find Waldo. Like, where's Waldo? They find him. No, literally, you can either go to on all social platforms, whether it's LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. You'll find me at Michele D Clark Lift. That's Michele. You don't need two L's in Michelle when one does the same. So Michele, middle initial D, Clark, Clark, and it's either going to be .lift or just lift by itself, LIFT, all caps. And that's also how you can find me on YouTube with my shows that I do, my podcast on Tuesdays. So Michele D Clark Lift. And just because you all are here with us, hanging out with me and Mr. David Thompson, I want to give you a free gift. If you had to be a female for this one though. Sorry guys, no men allowed, no men allowed, right? Women only. If you're saying to yourself, you know what, I'm tired of my thinking, or I already have a magnificent mind and I want to make my magnificent mind like super fantastic or phenomenal. Let's go. I can help you, but let's see if we can work together. See, so it's not a matter of, you know, if I can help you, but it's if we can work together, right? That's really what it boils down to. So that's what our sessions are. I call them conversation exploration, not discovery calls. We ain't discovering nothing. We're just trying to figure out if we can work together. So it's a conversation exploration. I want to give that to you free, free, not a zero, no charge at all. And all you have to do is go to bit.ly/mindset with Michele. And again, that's Michele with one L because you don't need two when one does this. So yes, go ahead, go on to there and go to my booking page. It'll take you right there. Click on it, get your session so that we can help you to get rid of your BS.
Thank you, Michele D. Clark.
Yep.
No, that's beautiful. Anybody you want to thank out there? Give thumbs up. Anybody?
100%. First and foremost, I have got to give credit and thanks and all praise to God Almighty. Thank you so much for sparing me. Like I said at the beginning, when I say that, I've been through some things and that God has definitely saved me with his grace and mercy. That is for real, for sure talk. And if you guys are interested, catch one of my speeches. There is one on my website, micheledclark.com. You can catch that. Was a part of the Leadership Experience Tour. Events that I may have coming up. Just check with me. Just hit me up on email. You can go to ClarkMD at liftlifecoachingsolutions.com, and I can give you those as well. But I got to thank God for saving me from a lot of things that I've been through. But it's because of those things that I've been through that's helped me to become the Harriet Tubman of authenticity. So now I can save others. I can help to empower and help them to break those shackles. So I definitely want to thank God. I definitely got to give a shout out to my parents, to my mommy and daddy who are still here on this earth with me, who still provide me with guidance and love and support. They're like my number one fans. I love you all to life. My family, my support system, my biological, and also my spiritual family at Greater Olivet Missionary Baptist Church. I want to thank all of the people who've had a hand in my life, in my professional life, whether it be Sean Fair, Sean Raiz, Dr. Latrice Walker, Dr. Latrice Legendaire. let me correct that. So yes. So, I want to thank all the people who've been in my life who just, even in passing. And I want to thank you, and I want to thank Pharaoh as well, T. Pharaoh Muhammad. I want to thank both of you all for helping to cultivate my acting career and providing me with a platform to grow. Not every coach can coach. Just because they slap the name coach on doesn't mean that they are a coach for real in all of its essence. And I thank you so much for being that coach for me, especially when I was going through some emotional and personal things in my life. And you just really helped me to keep it together and to be a friend to me. So I appreciate you, David, for being a friend.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And sincerely, thank you for being on my show, Real Actors, Real Answers. I love your energy. It's made me feel more energized and positive today.
Thank you. Can I thank just one more person?
Of course.
Okay, two more. My kids, got to thank them. And I want to thank my sister, Jennifer Clark. I want to thank her because, don't you do it. Don't you cry. She literally saved my life when I had my second stroke. Excuse me, when I had the second stroke. That's a correction, you guys. We can do that, right? When you speak something, you can misspeak it, you can then correct it. When I had the stroke, it wasn't mine. It was just in my life momentarily. She found me on the floor. And if she was not here, when it happened on that Monday, no one would have found me until that Wednesday when my kids were due to be back in my care. So she literally saved my life. And I will never forget her for that. And I will always love her and thank her for that. Not just because she's my sister, but because she saved my life. So I wanted to take a moment to put that out there as well.
I agree. Thank you very much. You left me with lots to think about, and I know the audience, hopefully they've taken note. No, I will. It's always a pleasure to talk to you and to see you, Michele. We've known each other since like 2014, something like that. So, hey, thank you again for being on my show, and continue to prosper and successful, because you are.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. And
right.
Thank you again for having me on the show.
Sure. Bye-bye.